Michelle, and today I've got for you a Pilates reformer workout using a resistance loop. Yes, so mine is a medium tension from Reformer Loops. This is a great one. I'll leave a link to it down below if you are in need of one. But we're going to use it around our thighs. We're going to use it to get our arms, a little bit of everything, okay? So it's going to be a really fun variation to our usual reformer routine. So to get started, we're going to place it over our thighs. So just slip your feet into it and get it above your kneecaps, okay? And then start with your foot bars all the way up and 2 red springs on, and then come down onto your backs. All right, so settle into your reformer. I've got my headrest down. Arms are going to be long by your sides. Put a little bit of pressure, just enough so your loop is taut, and then just take a few little tuck and tilts back and forth with your pelvis, just to kind of see how we're moving today. Yes, and then let's settle into a nice neutral. So the tailbone is heavy, little curve under the low back. Flex your feet, take a breath in. Now as you breathe out, you're just gonna press out into the band gently and then let it go. Yeah, so just kind of start testing the pressure, and you should be able to push out to the sides without collapsing through the lower back. Yes? You are able to, if you'd like, you can move your heels out a little bit wider than normal. Yeah, that will increase how heavy the band feels as you push out into it, okay? All right, so now press out into the band. We're gonna hold the tension on it as we tuck into an imprint, roll through your spine. See if you can push harder into the band as you come up into a bridge. Hold up here at the top and take a breath. And then as you exhale, keep the tension even on the way down as you melt through your spine and then release into your neutral. Now at the bottom, you can relax the pressure and kind of reset. Okay, now we go again. Knees push out, tail tucks under, and then we open up the front of the hips, leave the ribs heavy down, and then start to release. And then you can let go of the tension at the bottom. Good. Do that a couple more times. Feel the abs to tuck the pelvis and then outer thighs to push into the band. So good. And then roll back through. Try to make your spine even longer down along the mat. All right, let's do that 2 more times. Use the backs of the arms to help you feel wide across your chest. And then lower through. All right, now the next time we get up into our bridge, we're gonna stay there and hold. Now, see if you can keep the band taut, and I just want you to lift one leg up to tabletop and then place it back down. Whew, and then try the other side. So this is hard on many levels, yeah. On the lifting leg, it's way challenging the hip flexors to pull, and then on the leg that stays behind, you're challenging the back of the leg to stay strong and hold that end of the band tight. So good. Do that a couple more times. So this takes a lot of stability and control to not lose your nice level pelvis as we start going. Yeah, so the closer your knee gets to you, whew, the harder it is. All right, now let's pause with one leg up in tabletop and stay. Now keep the legs in this position and you're gonna roll through your spine, keep the band tight, come all the way down to neutral with your tail, and then roll back up on that same leg. So good. Let's do 2 more on this same side. Whew. Yeah, so now the whole job of lifting us up and down is up to that one leg, and it's got the resistance pulling against it. Whew. So nice. Do that one more time. If this gets to be too much, you can go to more of just a hover of your foot off the bar rather than a full-on tabletop. All right, let's switch sides. New leg up, get as much pull as you can. Now tuck and roll under. Keep the tension on the band as you roll down. Find your neutral and then scoop to roll up. Whew. So nice. Do that a few more times. So it really makes us aware of the back of this pressing leg, which we want to have that awareness even without the band. Whew. But the band is perfect to give us the feedback. Good to emphasize that. So nice. Place the foot down, lift your hips up high, and then roll your spine all the way down until you find your neutral. Phew. So nice. Okay, now let's keep our tail down in our neutral, and I just want you to press out and in a couple times. Now this is going to feel super duper light. That's okay on these two reds. I just want you to practice keeping the tension into the band and seeing how comfortable you are to get to long legs. So you don't want to lock your knees out ever, but especially with the band because you'll lose the tension. So kind of find where that is for you. And if your heels go wider, you'll feel more pull on the band, okay? So now come down to the bottom. I want you to lift your right foot up to tabletop and now do one press out and in on that right leg and then switch. Lift, press, in and down. Yes, so now the springs are going to feel twice as heavy and the back of the leg is going to have to work a lot harder on the bottom leg to push down. Yes, the tabletop leg has to stay strong and vertical. Whew. All right, now on your next one, let's do a few reps with that one leg up. Push and pull. And it's okay if your bottom leg doesn't get all the way straight. Yes, just go as far as you can without losing your tabletop. Whew. And then come down and switch. Whew. It's no joke with the pull from the band. Yes, out and in. So again, the goal is not to lock out the knee. Keep it soft. Just open the hip a little more. Last one. Phew. All right, place both heels back on. Now we're going to go back to both legs pressing, but we're going to challenge it even more by hovering our tailbone. So push down into your hands. Hover your hips just barely off the mat. Now hold here for a second. Just kind of get comfortable with this. I'm going to move my arm so you can see there should be a nice little gap between your tail and the mat and a nice curve in your lower spine. Okay, now leave your back in that same shape and you're going to push out with both legs till they get almost long and then return with constant pressure out and then in. Make sure we don't feel any wobbles or kind of shake side to side in the pelvis. Try to tone that down a little bit. Yeah, move slowly enough that you can make adjustments if you feel your tail getting higher or closer to the mat. All right, you guys come in and pause. Keep your hips lifted. Float one leg to tabletop. Push out and in. Whew, and then switch. Replace the heel, lift, and push. So same pattern that we did with our tail down. If this ever gets to be too intense, set your hips down and repeat what we did before. Whew, out and in. So good. Ooh, try not to change the distance between your hips and the mat. All right, this time leave the leg up and we're going to do 4 presses on this single leg. Whew, 2, so good. Last one, and then we switch. Come in. It's a long time to have our hips up. 4, 3, whew, good. Feel all those muscles around the hip working. Last one. Put both heels down and then set your hips all the way down. Whew. Amazing. All right, you can kind of drop your knees side to side a little bit. All right, last one, just because it's one of my favorites and feels so good. We're going to do some presses with a little bit of hip extension, all right? So let's leave both heels on, roll through your spine and articulate back up into that bridge we found earlier. Whew. Okay, now from here, you're going to press out long, keep the tension into the band, and lift back up. Push and pull. Good. Do that a few more times. That's it. Good. So you end up almost more neutral and then big hips extended. So your glutes squeeze and hips lift even higher. Think of pushing your knees out to the sides when they bend. Now come in and pause, touch against the stopper, and then roll your spine down. Good. Let's do that again. Scoop under, roll up, push out into the knees, and then push and pull. That's it. So good. Last 3. Hips high, knees to the sides. 2. Last one, and then roll yourself down and relax. Oh, amazing. Okay, roll over to the side. Come on up. Oh, wow. Okay, legs are awake for sure. All right, now I'm going to drop my springs down a little bit. So I'm going to go to one red and one medium. So a blue and a red. Okay, and then make sure your straps are reachable up on your shoulder rests. And then before we lay down, you're gonna move the band so that's over the arches of your feet rather than on your knees, okay? So come on down, grab your loops. Okay, we're gonna do mid-back series with the help from the band. Help or challenge, however you wanna think about it. All right, so tabletop the legs. You're gonna be in a hip width apart tabletop so that you have a little bit of pull on your band at all times. If that gets to be too much, you can relax that and bring the feet together to modify, all right? So here we go. Get your band taut, reach your arms up to the ceiling, take a breath in, and then you're gonna lower your arms straight down by your sides and then return to the ceiling. Yes, so be in a neutral spine if you can with that slight gap between your low back and the mat. Yes, now typically we think of this as like an arm and an ab exercise, right? But with the help of the band, it's like totally different. It adds all these layers to it involving the lower body. Now let's start to flex our spine up and forward and then lay back to the mat. Exhale, curl, and then down. So good, so hard, holding on to that tightness of the band. Let's do that 2 more times. Curl and release. Now lift up there and stay. Hold with the upper body, and we're just gonna straighten and bend. Both legs reach and pull. Leave the shoulder blades curled forward. 2, 1. Bend the knees and then lay your body down to the mat. Whew. Awesome. All right, let's repeat that with our arms out in a T. So hands just higher than your chest. Float the legs up, ribs heavy, and then start with just the arms coming in and out. Good. So with that extra lateral rotation in the shoulder, gets a little harder to keep the rib cage connected to the carriage. All right, start to curl up whenever you're ready, and then release and flex. And lower, so good. Few more, curl. And down, 2 more. And then we're gonna hold and do the legs just like before. Stay up and pause. Legs go out and in. See if you can push into the band. Even harder when your legs get straight. 2 more, push, pull, last one. And then lay all the way down. Whew. Awesome. All right, next, we're gonna do arm circles. So kind of the 2 positions we've already done, just smoothing them together. So arms high, you're gonna press your arms down by your sides, circle them open to a T, and then up to the ceiling. Good. We push, open, and reach. Yeah, so it's each arm is drawing its own half circle. Okay. All right, now when we're ready, the head is gonna lift as the arms press down and the legs are gonna extend, and then we bend the knees and lower. Good, arms, legs, head, everything goes forward and then returns down. 2 more times, curl and then release. Last one. And then so good. All right, we're gonna reverse it. So legs are tabletop. You can do the arms by themselves a few times till you kind of get this new direction in your body. All right, now the head and the legs are gonna go when the hands meet our hips and then replace back down. Curl and lengthen. Good, try to push harder into the band as you lift and lower. 2 more times. Last one, reach, and then come on down. Whew. Oh, so good. All right, one last position here. We're gonna do tricep presses. So bring the legs back up, bend the elbows to 90 by your ribs, and then straighten and bend at the elbows. Very good. So you can pin the elbows to the mat. That gives you a little more support for that elbow joint, or you can hover, which is a little more challenging and gives you a greater range of motion. All right, now we're gonna curl up and forward. Just leave the legs bent for now and then lay back on the mat. Yes, exhale, reach, and then down. Whew. 2 more. Now lift up there and stay. Bend your elbows, hold your arms, and I want you to straighten one leg at a time, bicycling. 3, 2. Now hold one straight and do a few tricep presses. So I'm pushing with one foot, pulling with the other, hold the legs there, and then we switch. The head can go down if it needs to. Whoo, keep going with the arms. 2. Let's do that one more time on either side. Straighten one leg and hold. Do 3 or 4 tricep presses. And then we switch the legs. Keep going. Head up or down. 3, 2, 1. And then relax. Oh my goodness. Oh, awesome. All right, you guys. Let's come on up. Take the band off of your feet. Whew. All right, so we're going to come up to standing. Take your band and you're going to place it around the backs of your hands. So it's going to give our shoulders some resistance as we use our legs to move the carriage. All right, so come up to standing and you're going to get into a lunge position. Also, take off that blue spring. So we're just on a single red. So closest foot goes up against the shoulder rest, and then you want your knees kind of side by side with each other so the foot is a little further back than when we do a single thigh stretch. Okay, backs of the hands into the band. You're going to stand tall and put some pressure onto the band with the backs of your hands. Now, as you push into a lunge with your legs, you're going to reach your arms out straight in front of you and then reverse that action to come back. And then we do that again. Push and then return. Now, if the resistance feels too challenging, just move your bottom foot further forward and that will decrease that challenge a little bit. The same is true on the reverse. If you want it a little harder, feel free to step that supporting leg back. Yes, get your back leg as long as possible. You can lean forward slightly if that helps you. So good. Now get into your lunge and stay. You're going to do fast scooters with the legs, bend and stretch with the arms. Keep your front leg in that deep bend for 5, 4, 3, 2, last 1, and then stand up tall. Whew. So good. All right, next, you're going to turn and face into your machine. Same foot is on top, just with the flat pinky side edge of your foot against it. Feet pointing in to your carriage. All right, so now with the arms, we're going to do a straight arm lift and lower this time while we side lunge with the legs. So start with the arms down and long. You're going to side lunge, hinge forward, and raise the arms overhead, and then slowly return the carriage. Yeah, that's one of the hardest parts is coming back with control, not getting yanked around by the springs. So good. Can lean forward in relationship to how much that bottom knee is bending. Good. Now get to your lunge and stay there. You're going to scooter with that far leg and bend and stretch the arms. Bring the band below your chin and then reach it up. Down and up. The more push with the hands, the harder it is. 2, 1, and then stand up tall. Whew. So good. All right, make your way over to the other side. All right, so same setup, facing the foot bar. We lunge with the back leg, push away and lengthen the arms and return. Bend and then return. So nice. Try to get tall every time you come back to standing. That's it. Keep the knee on top of the ankle on that supporting foot. 2 more. Very nice. Now get back there and stay. Scooter with the back leg. Both arms come in and out a little bit quicker for 3, for 2, 1, and then come on up. Whew. So good. All right, turn in, pinky side edge against the shoulder rest. Arms are long this time. Here we go. Push away and then restack. So my carriage leg gets straight, my bottom knee gets bent, and then return. So nice. So a little different, leaving the arms long and lifting and lowering with that resistance. Awesome. Now stay and hold. You're going to bring the band beneath your chin and reach. In and reach. Try to leave the weight over that bottom foot. Last 2. Last 1. And then stand up tall. Ooh, so good. All right, leave your springs the same on that red, and then that band is going to come back up over our thighs, and we're going to come into a little bit of a star prep with the added fun of the band. All right, so now you're going to place your nearest hand on the foot bar. Your other leg that's closer to the shoulder rests is going to go long and rest on the headrest with that ankle, okay? Now, you want to be leaned over so that shoulder, hip, and knee are in a straight line with each other. And then we're going to start pressing back and forth with this bottom shoulder. Okay, so for now, my leg is resting. Okay, I'm feeling more the pull with this leg, not so much the top one. That'll change though. Now, as I push out, add a lift of that long leg and then return. Lift and then replace. And it might not be a very big lift, yeah, just enough. Whew. Last two. Now get out there and stay. You're going to rotate underneath and open back up, and see if you can just hold the tension on the band, or you can lift when you twist and lower the leg when your body returns forward if you need a little break for the leg. So I twist and I lift and then come back. Last one. Ooh, I'm shaking. Come back. Oh my goodness. And then relax. Whew. It's not an easy one to get out of. Whew. So good. All right, turn around. Other side. That was a short and sweet one, but I don't think our glutes could have handled much longer than that. All right, or mine couldn't have anyways. All right, so new hand on, reach the leg long, top arm resting, and then we begin. Out and in. Good. So this shoulder really has to work to get you away from the bar, and then feel the lats to draw you back. Very good. All right, if you'd like, the addition is going to be leg floating up and down. And again, with how tight my band is, it's not a very big lift. And return. Two more. Now we're going to get out there and hold. You can either leave the leg up in the air, you could put it back down on the headrest, or you could do a little of both. Lift it when you twist, set it down as you face back front. Twist and up. This really makes it so your lower body can't help you on the twist, which is so nice. It's all up to that chest and spine. Last one. Whew. And then come on down. Oh my goodness. So nice, you guys. All right. Last thing, we're going to do a little bit of a lunge and a pike series, and then we're going to get our feet in the straps. Okay? So leave the band how it is. Now, you have the option to go a little bit heavier if you'd like. The red is just fine. I'm going to put on a blue just for a little extra spice. It's kind of fun. All right, so now come up. You're going to place one heel, high half toe against the shoulder rest. Other foot is going to come to the front edge of the carriage. My legs are hip width apart, and both heels are up. So even my front foot, that heel is lifted. Now, I bend so that my hips drop as low as possible, okay? Now, I keep my pelvis pretty much where it is, and I'm just gonna straighten my back leg and then return. That's it, out, and then in. Now, with the band, it's super hard to keep those legs going in opposition. Your front leg will not get straight, just the back one. Now, pause with the back leg long. You're going to pike up and straighten the front leg and then get back down. Do that again. Pike. Whew, both legs are long. And then lower. If you have that blue spring added, this is so challenging on the shoulders to not get launched forward. If you're on just the red, it's going to be a little more abs. So good. Now let's alternate. Do one, bend and stretch, and then one, pike and lower. One, in and out. One, pike and lower. Last time. Whew. Now I want you to get to that lunge position and stay, and we're going to push up from here. Down and up. Your carriage might move a little bit. That's totally fine. Press. Do three more. In and out. Hold those legs. Down. Take that blue off if it's too much. And then come all the way in. Whew. Wow, it's really hard with that extra blue spring, okay? So you decide if that's right today, but it's kind of fun to try it and then decrease if you need to. All right, okay, so here we go. Heels high. The deeper you bend the knees to start, the bigger the range we'll have. Here we go. Push and pull. So tons of work for the back, hip and knee extensors. Whew. And then front leg, thigh and hip flexor. Okay, now pause with the leg long and we're gonna pike and then press to the lunge. Whew. Pike and then press. You get some help to come back from the springs and from the band. Now we start to alternate. We come in and out, and then we pike up and down. In and out. Take that blue spring off if it's too much. 2 more times. In and out. Draw the abs away from that front thigh. All right, you guys, the next time you get into your lunge position, you're gonna hold the lower body, bend and stretch with the arms. Yes? So it's a push-up action, but the carriage is moving in and out just a little bit. 3, 2, 1, and then come all the way in. Oh my goodness. So good. All right, you guys, we're gonna get our feet in the straps now. We have way earned it. So get your straps on. You're gonna move the band down for our last hurrah, for our poor outer thighs. You're gonna move it down so it's around your ankles. Okay, and then you choose maybe 2 reds or a red and a blue. I'm gonna do 2 reds. And then come on down. All right, so the loop is around your ankles. Push out. Now, you kind of have to cheat a little bit and get both feet in at the same time. There's really no other good way to do it with the loop on your ankles, okay? All right, so now settle in, reach your legs out long, and start with your feet and ankles together. So my loop is totally lax, no tension on it. Now, all we're gonna do is separate the feet enough to make some pull on the band, and then bring the ankles back together. That's all. So finding your neutral. Now see if you can smooth out this transition from having no tension to full tension on the band. And just know that at any time here, you can have your feet together if your outer thighs are getting too tired. That would be a good modification. All right. So now hold the tension and we're going to go into a bend and stretch into tabletop and then press away. In and then press away. So good, you guys. So whatever amount of tension you can maintain on the band, and then your knees match up to wherever those ankles are, however wide apart they are from each other. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. Feel super heavy through that sacrum. Last one. All right, pause with your legs long, and we're gonna float the feet up, remaining with that tension on the band, and then lower down. Yeah, so not only do we have the pull from up above for the ropes, the side to side pull from the band really gets that full surrounding muscles of the hip, to be engaged, yes? All right, you guys, drop your legs down and we're gonna do a corkscrew. So you have to keep the tension out on the band, lift the feet up a little bit, and you're gonna circle both legs over to one side and then around to the other to come up. Do that again. Now it's not gonna be a very big circle, but try to make it a smooth one. Yes, especially whichever leg is closest to the side that you're circling around, that leg has to pull a little extra. Whew. All right, let's reverse it. Go the opposite way. And then down. Whew. A lot of times I'll do these when we have a ball between our ankles to challenge the inner thighs. But I'm loving this version with the loop. You get that kind of transfer of the tension from outer thigh to outer thigh. So good. Whew. Okay, bend your knees for a second. Whew. Okay, we've got one last little thing here, and then we'll do some short spines and call it a day. All right, so reach out. Now we're gonna go internally rotated, okay? Now press into the band with the backs of the ankles, and now we're gonna bend and stretch. which is slightly mean. I apologize. Yeah, internal rotation is hard enough, but now adding the resistance to it is super challenging. So if it's too much, you can just be parallel. Try to push harder into the band when your legs get long. Not easy. Oh my goodness. All right, last two. Now pause with long legs and we're gonna pulse out. Out in this internal rotation. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then grab. Oh, phew. Okay. All right. Next, we're going to do short spine, keeping the legs this distance to keep the tension. So let's give it a try. Lift your legs, curl your tail to roll up to the shoulder blades. Now just stay parallel, bend your knees. That feels so good to have the tension as we bend. Now roll through the spine and then send your legs long. Whew. Do that again. Yeah, it totally changes how the exercise feels to have that feedback for the glutes. That's it. All right, now this time, if you'd like, we're gonna stay up in that inversion and do a few bend and stretches. Down and up. Oh, that's so hard to keep the tension. And lift 2 more. Now bend your knees and roll through the spine to finish. So good. Let's do that one more time. Lift up and over. Do a few of those bend and stretches. Now make sure your chin isn't on your chest. So have the weight on the tops of your shoulder blades. Last 2. Pause with bent knees and pull with your heels to roll down. Whew. All right. Turn the knees out and bring the soles of the feet together. Your band will just kind of go floppy. Grab the ropes and just take a gentle rocking side to side. Oh, amazing. All right, take both feet out at the same time if I were you. That's the only way to do it. All right, and then you can hang your straps up. Take that band off of your feet. Whew. Okay, to finish, we're gonna do a little seated figure 4 stretch. We worked our outer thighs like crazy today, so let's give them a little bit of love, all right? So sit tall. This will work whether your reformer is high or low. You're gonna cross your top ankle over one knee and sit tall. Grab that leg and kind of push the knee away from you and just sit as tall as you can. And this might be enough stretch that you can just stay here, yeah? If you'd like a little more, we're just gonna exhale and let the weight of our head and our torso kind of push slightly harder on that leg and then sit back up tall. Do that again. Good. The back of your pelvis stays upright and just that upper spine is folding. Good. One more time. You can even hook this other hand beneath the foot and kind of pull up as the opposite hand pushes down. Now stay here and just breathe. Through this stretch, you can rock it side to side if that feels good. Whew. All right, and then switch legs. Whew. New one up. Cross it over, sit tall. So you push on the knee with one hand, pull up on the underside of the foot with the other. And then here we go. Breathe out if you want that extra stretch, folding forward, and then come back up tall. Good. 2 more times. And just stay gentle with this. No need to force it. Just staying here longer. Our muscles will kind of relax into it. Yeah, last one. Curl down and stay. And then we breathe. Ooh, try to breathe into the back of the body, into the back of the rib cage. And then come up. Oh, all right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed that super challenging workout with the resistance loop. If you did, please give it a like down below. Leave me a comment if you have any requests for future videos or any feedback. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already and share this video with a friend. And I'll see you next time. Bye.